They told you that you weren't enough. Maybe they didn't say it outright, but you felt it in the way they looked at you, in the way they smirked when you spoke about your dream, in the way they dismissed your ambitions as nothing more than foolish fantasies. The world had a way of making you feel small, like you were standing in the shadow of something greater, something you would never become. And for a while, you believed them. You lay awake at night, replaying every moment where someone doubted you, every laugh, every whisper behind your back. You could hear their voices even when they weren't there. You'll never make it. You don't have what it takes. You're wasting your time. The words crept into your mind, sinking into your bones like a slow poison. You tried to ignore them, tried to shake them off, but doubt is a parasite. It feeds on your insecurities, multiplies in your weakest moments. And the worst part? The voice that whispered the loudest wasn't theirs. It was your own. You started questioning yourself. Maybe they were right. Maybe you weren't special. Maybe you were destined to stay exactly where you were, trapped in mediocrity, watching others rise while you remained stuck. The weight of it was suffocating. You carried the burden of expectation, other people's and your own, dragging it with you everywhere you went. It slowed you down. It made you hesitate. You wanted to believe in yourself, but every time you tried, something pulled you back down. The nights were the worst. In the silence, the doubts were louder. There was no one to distract you, no one to drown out the thoughts that clawed at your mind. You stared at the ceiling, feeling the weight of every failure, every setback, every moment you had been told you weren't good enough. It felt like you were drowning in it, like the more you fought, the deeper you sank. You wanted to scream, but no one would hear you. You wanted to run, but there was nowhere to go. This was the moment they wanted. This was the moment they expected. They thought you would break under the pressure, that you would crumble under the weight of their doubt. They had seen it happen before, to others, to people just like you, people with dreams too big, with ambitions too wild. They had watched them give up one by one, and they were waiting for you to do the same. They thought you would fall in line, accept your place, accept that you were never meant for more. But something inside you refused. It wasn't loud, it wasn't strong, it was barely a whisper, but it was there, a small ember, hidden beneath the ashes of your self-doubt, waiting for something, anything, to ignite it. Because deep down, you knew the truth. You weren't weak, you weren't broken, you weren't meant to stay down. And no matter how much they doubted, no matter how many nights you spent drowning in uncertainty, there was still a fire inside you, a fire they didn't see, a fire they underestimated. And one day, that fire would burn through every single lie they ever told you. Self-doubt is the silent killer of dreams. It doesn't strike suddenly like a storm. It creeps in slowly, unnoticed at first, like a slow poison working its way through your veins. It disguises itself as reason, as caution, as logic. It whispers that you are protecting yourself from failure when in reality, you are only ensuring. Every time you hesitate, every time you question whether you are good enough, strong enough, smart enough, it wins. And the worst part, it doesn't come from the outside. It's not the voices of others holding you back now. It's you. You are at war, a war not fought with fists or weapons, but with thoughts. On one side is your potential, everything you could be, everything you know deep down you are capable of. It stands tall, unwavering, waiting for you to step forward and claim it. And on the other side is your fear, the shadow that looms over you, whispering every possible reason why you should stop, why you should shrink back, why you should accept less than what you deserve. This war is raging inside you every single day, and the side that wins, it's the one you feed. You can feel it, can't you? That battle inside your mind. Some days, you wake up and believe in yourself. Even if just for a moment, you tell yourself that you can do this, that you are capable, that you deserve more. But then the fear strikes back. It reminds you of every time you fail, every time you've fallen short. It tells you that trying again is pointless. that the pain of failing again will be worse than the pain of giving up now. And just like that, your potential takes another step back. Pain is a liar. It makes you believe you are weak, when in reality, it is proof that you are still alive, still fighting, still capable of more. Pain wants you to believe that it is the end, that it is a reason to stop. But pain is not the enemy. Pain is the fire that can forge you into something unbreakable, if you let it. The difference between those who rise and those who fall isn't the presence of pain. It's what they do with it. You've been tricked into believing that struggle means you're losing, that because things are hard, you aren't meant to succeed. But that is a lie. The struggle is proof that you are in motion. The struggle is proof that you are still in the fight. And as long as you are still fighting, you have not lost. The only way to lose this war is to surrender. And if you refuse to do that, if you refuse to bow to your doubts, to your fears, to your pain, then victory is inevitable. You don't see it yet, but you are dangerous. Not because you are the strongest, not because you are the smartest, but because despite everything, despite the fear, despite the doubt, despite the pain, you are still here. And as long as you are here, as long as you keep moving forward, you cannot be stopped. They told you that you were weak, but the truth is, you are stronger than any of them ever imagined. They smiled in your face, swore they had your back, promised they would stand beside you. But when the moment came, when you needed them most, where were they? Gone. Some walked away in silence as if you never existed. Others turned their backs with a smirk, watching as you struggled, pretending they never knew you. And then there were the ones who didn't just leave. They laughed, they mocked, they rejoiced in your downfall. They acted as if your pain was entertainment, as if your failure was proof that they were right about you all along. You never thought it would be them, the ones who once called you a friend, a brother, a sister, a partner. You thought loyalty meant something. You thought your bonds were unbreakable. But when life hit you, when the weight of failure, loss, and struggle pressed down on your shoulders, so did the truth. People love to stand next to success, but they disappear when it turns into struggle. They love to celebrate you when you're winning, but the moment you stumble, they become spectators, critics, or even enemies. And then came the mockery, the whispers behind your back that weren't even hidden, the smirks, the subtle digs, the looks that said, "I knew you'd never make it." They spoke your name, but not in admiration, in amusement, as if your downfall was a story worth retelling, as if your pain was proof of their superiority. You saw the messages, the comments, the side conversations where your name was tossed around like a joke. The world didn't just turn against you. It enjoyed watching you suffer. And the worst part? You couldn't stop it. You couldn't make them see who you really were. You couldn't force them to respect you. You were trapped in a world that had already decided what you were worth. And in their eyes, you weren't worth much. You felt alone, utterly abandoned. Even the ones who didn't mock you were silent. They saw your pain. They saw your struggle. And still, they said nothing. You reached out, hoping someone, anyone, would pull you up. But no hand appeared. No one was coming to save you. That's when reality hit. You were on your own. No one was going to fight for you. No one was going to clear the path, remove the obstacles, or hand you the life you deserved. If you wanted to rise, you would have to do it alone. If you wanted to silence the laughter, you would have to do it with action, not words. If you wanted to survive, you would have to become something they never saw coming. Because the truth is, this wasn't the end. No, this was the beginning of something they would never be able to stop. They thought they had won. They thought they had broken you. They thought you would never recover. But what they failed to realize was this. The more they pushed you down, the stronger you became. Every betrayal sharpened your mind. Every rejection hardened your spirit. Every moment of abandonment forced you to become something dangerous, a survivor. And what they don't know yet, what they can't even begin to imagine, is that the person they tried to destroy isn't the person who is rising now. You are not coming back as the same version of yourself. No, You are coming back as something else entirely, something unbreakable, something unstoppable. And when they finally realize that, when they finally see the monster they created, it will be too late, far too late. You came closer to giving up than you ever want to admit. There was a moment, a real moment, when the weight of it all became too much, when the fight felt pointless, when the voices in your head screamed louder than any words of encouragement could ever reach. You looked around and saw nothing but failure, nothing but closed doors, nothing but proof that maybe, just maybe, the world was right about you. Maybe you weren't meant to win. You felt yourself drowning, not in water, but in something heavier, something more suffocating. Failure wrapped itself around your body like chains, pulling you deeper and deeper into darkness. Every breath you took was filled with regret. Every thought in your mind whispered a different version of the same cruel sentence. It's over. Let go. Stop fighting, surrender. And you almost did. You almost let yourself slip under, almost let the struggle consume you whole. Self-pity became your only companion. It sat with you in silence, fed you the kind of lies that felt like comfort. This isn't your fault. The world is unfair. You were never given a real chance. It's not quitting if the game was rigged against you from the start. And for a moment, you believed it. It was easier that way. Easier to blame the world, the people who betrayed you, the circumstances that never seemed to work in your favor. Easier to sit in the ashes of your dreams than to try and rebuild them again. But then, something happened. Something small, something quiet. A spark. It wasn't hope. Hope was too soft, too fragile. No, this was different. This was rage. This was defiance. This was something primal inside you that refused to die. It clawed its way out from the depths of your despair, whispering something that cut through the noise, through the doubt, through the exhaustion. Not like this. It wasn't a roar. Not yet. It was barely a whisper, but it was enough. Enough to keep breathing. Enough to lift your head. Enough to remember who you are, who you were always meant to be. You are not a victim. You are not weak. You are not done. You may have fallen, but you are not broken. You may have failed, but you are not finished. The world tried to bury you, but they didn't realize one thing. You are a seed, and the darkness they thought would destroy you. It is the very thing that will make you rise, stronger, sharper, unrecognizable. And when you rise, oh, when you rise, the world will remember the moment they almost crushed you, because that will be the moment they should have feared the most, the moment you decided to fight back. There comes a moment in every warrior's journey when they stand at a crossroads, a moment where the pain, the exhaustion, the weight of failure becomes unbearable, and the mind screams for relief. You are at that moment now. One path leads to surrender. It is wide, well-traveled, paved with the footsteps of those who gave up before you. It offers the illusion of comfort, the false promise that if you stop fighting, the pain will go away. But deep down, you know the truth. That path doesn't lead to peace. It leads to regret. Then there is the other path, the one less traveled, the one that is brutal, unforgiving, littered with obstacles meant to break you, the one that demands more from you than you think you can give. This is the path of warriors, of those who refuse to bow, refuse to accept defeat, refuse to let their story end in failure. And in this moment, this defining moment, you must choose. No one is coming to save you. Read that again. Let it sink in. No one is going to pick you up, dust you off, and carry you to victory. No one is going to fight your battles for you. No one is going to hand you the life you dream of. If you want it, you will have to take it. If you want to rise, you will have to do it with your own two hands. And this is where most people fail, because the realization that the weight of your life is on your own shoulders is terrifying. But for you, it is freedom, because now you understand. You are not powerless. You are not at the mercy of fate or luck or the opinions of others. You are not a prisoner of your past, your failures, or your circumstances. The moment you stop waiting for someone to save you is the moment you take control. and when you take control. Nothing can stop you. This is not the end. This is not the moment where you fade into the background and accept a life of mediocrity. This is the beginning of your rise, the beginning of the transformation that will leave the world speechless. They thought they had seen the last of you. They have no idea what's coming. There is a fire inside you, and it has been waiting for the moment when you finally wake up, when you finally see the truth. They tried to bury it. They tried to smother it with doubt, rejection, failure. But fire doesn't die in the dark. It grows, it learns, it waits, and now it is ready to burn. You have spent too long suppressing your anger, too long believing that your rage was a weakness. But what if you've had it all wrong? What if that rage, the very thing they told you to control, to bury, to silence, is the key to your power? What if the hunger inside you isn't a curse but a gift? This is not just about proving them wrong. This is not just about revenge. This is about survival. This is about becoming something they never saw coming. Tapping into that raw primal force inside you and using it, not recklessly, not blindly, but with precision, with strategy, with unstoppable discipline, because that is where the shift happens. The moment you stop letting pain control you and start using it to fuel you. Pain is no longer your enemy. It is your weapon. Every rejection, every insult, every moment of failure, it does not weaken you. It sharpens you. It forges something inside you that cannot be broken, something they cannot understand. They thought they were hurting you. They thought they were tearing you down, but all they were doing was giving you more fuel, more reason, more hunger. And hunger is dangerous. Hunger is relentless. Hunger does not stop until it is satisfied. And now, you are hungrier than you have ever been. The person you were, the one who hesitated, the one who doubted, the one who waited for approval, is gone. This is your rebirth. This is the moment where you stop dreaming and start hunting, because the fire inside you is no longer waiting. It is ready to consume everything in its path. They wanted you to fail. They wanted you to stay broken, to stay beneath them, to stay lost in the shadows of your own doubts. They laughed when you struggled, whispered behind your back when you fell. They thought they had won. But now, something has changed. You are no longer the person they once mocked. You are no longer waiting for permission, no longer seeking validation, no longer shackled by their opinions. You have turned your pain into power, your failures into fuel. You have become something they never expected, unstoppable. And the best part? They have no choice but to watch. Watch as you rise. Watch as everything they doubted, everything they mocked, everything they said you could never become unfolds right in front of them. They are forced to witness the transformation they never thought possible. Their laughter has turned to silence. Their smirks have faded into uncertainty. The same mouths that once ridiculed you now struggle to find words. They don't know what to say because they never saw this coming. They underestimated you. They thought you would break. They thought you would stay down. But instead you became the one thing they feared, proof that they were wrong. And nothing haunts a person more than watching someone they doubted become everything they never could. But here's the thing. This is not about them. It never was. Revenge isn't about proving them wrong. It's about proving yourself right. It's about becoming so powerful, so unshakable, that their opinions no longer matter. Their regret, their silence, their disbelief, that is just a side effect of your greatness. Because true revenge is not screaming back at them. It is rising so high that they can't reach you anymore. There was a time when you feared the darkness, when every failure felt like a death sentence, when every setback felt like proof that you weren't meant to rise. But now you understand. Strength is not built in comfort. Warriors are not made in safety. You were not meant for ease. You were meant for war. The darkness did not come to destroy you. It came to forge you. Every hardship, every lonely night, every moment of doubt, it was all a test. A brutal, merciless initiation into a new version of yourself. The kind of strength you now possess could never have been found in comfort. It was earned in the fire, in the suffering, in the struggle. And now, instead of running from it, you embrace it. You no longer fear hardship. You welcome it. You have learned to see pain not as a curse, but as a teacher. You have become dangerous, not in the way the weak assume, not with recklessness, not with violence, but with power. The kind of power that makes people nervous, that makes them question how you survived, that makes them realize they can no longer control you. This is the final lesson. The world does not hand power to those who beg for it. It bows to those who but command it, those who are unshaken, unmoved, untouchable. And now, that is you. The darkness that once tried to break you has become your greatest ally. You are no longer afraid. You are no longer weak. You are no longer waiting. They thought they could crush you. But now they see you becoming something they cannot stop, something they cannot break, something they should have never underestimated. The old you is dead, the version of yourself that lived in fear, that hesitated, that questioned whether they were worthy. That person no longer exists. You buried them in the ashes of everything you once thought defined you. The past no longer holds you. The failures, the betrayals, the moments of doubt, they are nothing but fuel now. You are no longer running from who you were. You are building who you are meant to become. This is your reconstruction, your rebirth. You're not just changing, you're unreinventing. Your mindset is no longer controlled by fear, but by strategy. Your habits are no longer dictated by emotion, but by discipline. Every step you take now is deliberate. Every move is calculated. You no longer waste time proving yourself to those who doubted you. You're too busy becoming the person they never saw coming. The rise is no longer a dream. It is happening. Every sacrifice, every ounce of suffering, every moment you felt lost, it was all leading to this, the unstoppable version of you. The version they feared, the version they never imagined you could become, the version that does not seek approval, that does not hesitate, that does not stop until the mission is complete. They thought they had you figured out. They thought they knew how your story would end. But now, they don't even recognize you. The weak, uncertain, hesitant version of yourself is gone. What stands in their place is something stronger, something sharper, something unbreakable. You are no longer a victim of your past. You are the architect of your future and the world. It is about to witness the rise of something they should have never underestimated. There is a reason the weak stay weak and the powerful rise. It is not luck. It is not chance. It is strategy. Winners do not think, move, or operate like the rest. While others react, they plan. While others beg for fairness, they adapt. While others play checkers, they play chess. You have learned through fire. You've suffered enough to understand what most never will. Success is not about talent. It is about mindset. The version of you that once let emotions dictate actions is gone. The anger, the desperation, the need for approval. You have mastered them. They no longer control you. You control them. Now you see the world differently. You do not move impulsively. You do not waste time on meaningless battles. You calculate, you strategize, you strike when the time is right. And because of that, you are untouchable. They may try to provoke you, but you do not react. They may try to bait you, but you do not fall for the trap. They are still playing by old rules, while you have mastered the new ones. This is what separates those who succeed from those who stay stuck. The ability to detach, to think 5 moves ahead, to move with precision, while the rest move with emotion. This is why they will never understand you. This is why they will never see you coming. Because while they are distracted, while they are emotional, while they are stuck in the past, you are already building the future. You are no longer a pawn in someone else's game. You are the player. And now you are playing to win. There was a time when you craved their validation, a time when their approval felt like oxygen, when their belief in you seemed necessary for your success. That time is over. You have outgrown the need for permission. You have walked through fire, rebuilt yourself from nothing, and now you stand alone. Not because you have to, but because you choose to. Because you finally understand the truth. You are enough. You do not need their applause. You do not need their encouragement. You do not need them to believe in you, because you believe in yourself, and that terrifies them. Because the moment you stop seeking their validation, you become untouchable. They can no longer manipulate you with approval, no longer control you with acceptance, no longer break you with rejection. You do not move for them. You do not rise for them. You do not succeed for them. You do it for you. And that is what makes you dangerous. Because the ones who cannot be swayed, the ones who do not beg for attention, the ones who do not need to be seen to know their worth, they are the ones who change everything. They will not understand you now. They will wonder why you no longer seek their approval, why you no longer chase their validation. But it doesn't matter. You have already won, because you have stepped into your own power, and now nothing can take it away from you. There's no need for words, no need for explanations, no need to remind them of how they doubted you, laughed at you, counted you out. They already know. They feel it in their silence, in their regret, in the way they watch you now, stunned, speechless, unable to process the reality of your rise. You do not need to argue. You do not need to prove anything. Your success is the loudest thing they have ever heard. It echoes in every room they walk into, in every conversation where your name is spoken. The same people who once dismissed you now whisper about you. The same ones who mocked your struggles now struggle to comprehend your transformation. And the best part, you don't even acknowledge them. No revenge is louder than walking past them, unbothered, untouchable, as if they never mattered at all. Because they don't. They were nothing more than stepping stones, nothing more than background noise in the story of your rise. They thought they could break you. They thought they could erase you. But now you move in silence. You win in silence, and yet your presence is deafening, because nothing haunts them more than knowing you did it without them. The world sees you differently now. The same people who ignored you, who looked past you, who treated you like you didn't matter, they suddenly speak your name with respect. The shift is undeniable. The energy has changed. They no longer look at you with doubt. They look at you with recognition. But let's be clear. Respect wasn't given to you. You took it. You didn't wait for their approval. You didn't ask for permission. You carved your place in stone with blood, sweat, and an unbreakable will. Now they acknowledge you not because they want to, but because they have no choice. They see the power in your presence, the confidence in your steps, the undeniable force of someone who has conquered themselves first. You are no longer just another name. You are a presence, a symbol, a storm they never saw coming. But this return, it is not for them. It is not to bask in their applause or to feed their newfound admiration. It is a statement, a declaration that you were never weak, that they never broke you, that despite everything, despite every obstacle, every betrayal, every doubt, you rose. And now they will never forget your name. Because you did not just return. You returned as a king. And a king does not ask for respect. He commands it. They wanted to break you. They wanted to silence you, weaken you, bury you under the weight of their doubt. But in doing so, they built you. Every attack, every rejection, every failure, they did not destroy you. They sharpened you.